Hello, everybody. Now, today we're going to be answering some questions on a data set. Okay, now this is your data set here. Okay, so this table shows how all the teams finish in the District Football League. Now, I know it looks like a lot of information, but if you break it down, it's quite simple. Okay, so what do we need to know? We need to know that all the teams are down the left hand side. Okay, so Red Rovers, Acorn Villa, Rock Harps, all the way down to Brer Celtic. They are the teams in the league. Okay? From top to bottom. Now, the red letters across the top. These are very, very important now to help us when we're answering the questions down here. So, P stands for played. So, every team has the same number for P, which is 20. So, every team played 20 matches. W is for win. How many teams did each match win? How many matches did each team win? So Red Rovers won 13 matches. If you come down to Black River, they won 11 matches. Down to Wanderers, they won 6 matches. So W is the amount of wins. D is the amount of games each team drew. Every time they played a game and the score was level at the end. So for example, Acorn Villa drew 4 games. Whitehorn also drew 4 games. Castle Blues drew 2 games. Okay, moving on to L. L is for the amount of games each team lost. Red Rovers only lost 4 games. Whereas if you come down to Rowan Hill, they lost 9 games. Okay. F is for. So the amount of goals for. The amount of goals each team scored. Okay, so Red Rovers scored 50 goals. Come down, let's have a look at Ballyfort. They scored 42 goals over the entire season. Fairweather scored 29 goals over the season. So, goals for, that's why it's an F. The amount of goals each team scored in the season. A is for against. Okay, the amount of goals that was scored against each team, or the amount of goals each team conceded or let into their net. Okay, for example, Acorn Villa, if we come all the way across, Acorn Villa had 32 goals scored against them. Okay, so they conceded 32 goals. Let's go down. Castle Blues. They had 51 under A. So the other team scored 51 goals against Castle Blues. So A is for against. PTS is for points. The amount of points each team had at the end of the season. And this shows us where each team comes. So first team, second team, third team, fourth team, all the way down to the last team. The team with the most points at the end of the season wins the league. So Red Rovers had 42 points, so they won. Okay. Now there are a few question marks throughout, which you'll have to figure out in your questions as well. Now this is very, very important here. You get 3 points for a win. 1 point if you draw a game. And if you lose, you get 0 points. Okay? Now let's have a look through the questions. Which team scored, number 1, the most goals? So I go to my goals for, and I look at the team which has the most goals scored here. Which team scored the least goals? Again, I go to my goals for, so the goals all the teams scored, and I find the team which scored the fewest amount. Okay. B, which 3 teams scored the same number of goals? So again, I'm in my goals for column. And I have to look through here to find 3 teams that have the same amount of goals scored. You'll have to find that yourself. How many matches did Rowan Hill win? Now, this is our first question mark. Okay, so if they played 20, drew 3, lost 9. What is the win? If I add 9 and 3 together, it will give me 12. 20 minus 12, I'm left with 8. So we now know that they won 8 games. How many matches did Ballyfort draw? And how many matches did Castle Blues lose? Are these two question marks? I used the method I used for Rowan Hill to get the answer for those two. Okay. What is the points total for each of the bottom 3 teams? So, Wanderers, Fairweather, and Briar Celtic. How many points did they get? So you have to come back and have a look at your remember point here. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw. So Wanderers won 6 games. So 6 multiplied by 3, because they get 3 points for every game they won. So 6 multiplied by 3. And I add that to the amount of points they got for a draw. So they drew 4 games. Remember, I get 1 point for each draw. 4 multiplied by 1. And I add my 2 answers together and it'll give me their points. Remember, they don't get any points for losing, so there's nothing here. Okay. Acorn, Villa and Rock Harps have the same points. But why did Acorn Villa finish in second place? Okay. They have the same points here. They actually have to scoring the same amount of goals, the same amount of losses, same draws, same wins. So it's up to you to figure out why Acorn Villa are above Rock Harps. Okay. Best of luck with these questions. Make sure you label them neatly and label the number A, B, C all the way down to G as you go along. Okay, best of luck.